Hey there, this is Dave Kelm. It is day 48 tomorrow, 49, yeah, I think that might be right. Day 48, COVID-19. Please hit subscribe, please hit like, please hit share, please hit whatever. Blink, 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 blink. Anyway, so yesterday, I meant to do this yesterday and everything got in the way. So yesterday was 10 years since I graduated from law school, and thinking about it over the last couple of days when I realized it. Thank you, by the way, Facebook, for letting me know. There are a bunch of attorneys that, and I probably should write a list. Probably should have maybe taken some notes before I turned on the camera, but there are a bunch of attorneys that have been a huge assist over the years, even during law school, before law school. I in a previous career worked in sort of the public safety sphere and dealt with a lot of different attorneys in that area, criminal attorneys and other types of public safety attorneys. And then when I was doing public affairs and government relations and things like that, I worked with a number of different types of attorneys there. And then after I became an attorney, have been in a number of different areas. And so, just off the top of my head, folks that were instrumental in me thinking about law school, completing law school, and then being a lawyer that I am right now. People include Mark Warnsing, who is at the Illinois Legislative Reference Bureau now, and was at the governor's office when I worked for Governor Jim Edgar, and Bill Roberts, who was our general counsel at the time, and Bill Gesquire, who was a fascinating character to sit and talk to. And those were sort of early attorneys. And then later, when I thought about going to law school, there were a bunch of folks who I talked to and bounced ideas off of, including Kent Gray, who is an attorney in Springfield, and Tom Ryder, who is a former legislator and in government relations and in private practice, and Tom Appleton, who was a judge and is on the appellate court in this area, and Jim Durkin, who is a Republican leader in the Illinois House, and my good friend Brock Williford, all sort of pushed me and helped me and got me through law school. And then as I was coming out of law school, the guys at Hennessy and Roach, Tom Hennessy and Guy Maris and Jim Roach and Mike Holt and Steve Klychek and Emily Miller, all were helpful in getting me getting my feet on the ground, and then moving and working with an attorney out of Chatham, Steve Draper, on some contract work, and that was amazing. Steve is an amazing technical attorney and just a great all-around guy. And then there are some judges also. Judge John Schmidt, may he rest in peace, and Judge Chris Perrin, and just a bunch of former Judge Leo Zappa, and some other great folks that are out there. And then worked for a time with a firm downtown Springfield, and Herman Bo Davies and Dave Herman and Chris Shear and Jennifer Hammer, and a bunch of attorneys there at Giffen Winning. Just fantastic people, and really, again, taught me a lot. Probably, Jeff Mollett, one of the guys that, one of the attorneys that I've worked with closely over the years, just really patient and has legal wisdom beyond anything I can imagine. And so those are some of the attorneys that I've worked with. Now, there are attorneys that I work with here and there, and I've been very fortunate. Kevin Linder, I shouldn't forget about Kevin Linder. I've been very fortunate to work with, and in some cases against, an attorney here in Springfield, Gordon Gates, who I've worked against on some things, and just again, a fascinating character. Don Craven, who, if I ever had questions, I could call and pick his brain. Bill Panicki, probably the finest divorce attorney that I've ever come across, because he knows his role, he knows the rules, he knows the statute, he comes prepared. Scott Hankin on the criminal side, and just does amazing work. There's just been so many people that I've been able to interact with, and I know I'm forgetting some because, again, I probably should have prepared. I probably should have written a list, but those attorneys that I listed, and the many, many attorneys that I didn't have time or I didn't think about listing, Danny Weber. See, now I'm going to remember Danny Weber and Derek Persico and Andrew Freiheit from House Republican staff, Heather Weir-Vaught from House Democrat staff, Brett Bender from House Democrat staff. These are all attorneys that I've worked with, and some I agreed with, some I disagree with, some we're still friends, and we still talk quite often. But those are all that's just some of the attorneys that I've worked with, and in 10 years since I graduated, 10 years, that's crazy to me. But it's been fantastic, and there are some days when I think to myself, why did I go to law school? That's usually when I'm paying the student loan check, by the way. Other than that, I really don't mind. So it's been great. I appreciate everyone's support. I appreciate all the people that pushed me and got me here. Of course, my biggest supporter and the person who pushed me the most, who's not an attorney, my wife, Michelle. Thank God she is still along for the ride. And so 10 years a lawyer. I passed the bar in July and then found out on October 1st. So 10 years in the bar coming up on October 1st. So thanks. Hope everyone's staying safe. We'll talk to you soon. See ya.